Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Langility. My name is Madeline, and I'm your host. This podcast is aimed at intermediate learners of English, where we look at interesting topics and help you improve your English along the way. In this episode, we're going to explore a topic that many people in the UK have strong opinions about: Sunday trading hours. Have you ever visited the UK and noticed that on Sundays, certain shops close earlier than expected? It can be a bit of a disappointment, can't it? Maybe you were hoping to go to the supermarket, or maybe you wanted to buy some clothes, or maybe you just wanted to enjoy a bit of shopping. These shorter opening hours can feel like they're cutting your day short. But what exactly are Sunday trading hours? Well, these are the times when shops are allowed to open their doors on Sundays. It's an important part of how Brits shop and also how we spend our weekends. Sunday trading hours not only change our shopping habits, but also how businesses work and how families spend their time together. Today, we're going to look at the history of Sunday trading laws in the UK and how they work in our modern society. We're also going to take a look at the continuing discussion about whether they should be changed to better suit our lifestyles. As we discuss this topic, have a think about your own experiences with Sunday shopping, whether as a customer or as a business owner. In the UK, Sunday trading hours are controlled by the Sunday Trading Act of 1994. And an act is a law made by the government. This law means that larger shops, those bigger than 280 square meters, can only open for a maximum of 6 hours on a Sunday. Now, 280 square meters is about the size of a doubles tennis court. So these big shops are limited to opening for 6 hours in the period of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. However, I should mention these rules are different for Scotland, even though it is part of the UK. In Scotland, shops can open for as long as they want on Sundays, as there aren't any limits. Now, why is this important? For many shoppers, this can create a sense of inconvenience. So, if you describe something as being inconvenient, it means that it makes your life harder. For example, imagine having a lie-in on Sunday. Let's say you've woken up at 10:30, and once you've done some cleaning and eaten your lunch, it's now 2 p.m. You've got a really long list of things to do in town, but now you have less than 2 hours to get through everything before the shops shut. It can be annoying, especially if you have a lot to buy or if you're trying to make the most of your day off. The law can make you feel like you're racing against the clock to get everything done. To understand why these laws exist, let's take a moment to look back at the history behind them. Hundreds of years ago, Sundays were seen as a day for rest. People would go to church in the morning and would spend time with family. The church was very important in people's lives, and there were laws against working or selling goods on Sundays. And this way of living stayed in place for a long time. But things started to change in the 18th and 19th centuries during the Industrial Revolution. So the Industrial Revolution was a period when Britain moved away from being a farming society to producing goods in factories. Many people worked long hours in factories and had to deal with dangerous and terrible conditions. It was common for working hours to be between 14 to 16 hours a day, and that was for 6 days of the week. Wow, I thought I had it bad. As a result, people began to push for laws that would give workers more time off. In the 19th century, laws like the Factory Act of 1833 helped to improve working conditions and reduce working hours. These laws helped people see that workers have the right to rest. And over time, Sunday was viewed as a day for rest. After World War II, shopping became more common, and people started to ask whether shops should be open on Sundays. Some people thought it would help the UK's financial situation and would create jobs. However, others wanted to keep Sunday as a day of rest and family time. Religious groups were also against shops opening on Sundays because they wanted to protect people going to church. Finally, the Sunday Trading Act 1994 was introduced. As we said previously, this allowed bigger shops to open, but only for a limited time. Smaller shops could open whenever they wanted. This agreement tried to respect both modern shopping habits and the traditional view of Sunday as a day of rest. Now, let's look at the reasons why some people might want longer to shop on a Sunday. One of the strongest arguments is that people today just lead very busy lives and need more time to shop. Many people manage work, family, and housework during the week. For a lot of people, the weekend is the only time they can do their shopping. Let's think about a parent who works full-time. They leave for work early in the morning and don't return home until late in the evening. They may find it extremely challenging to get to the shops when they're open during the week. For them, the weekend is probably the only opportunity to buy groceries, clothes, or other essentials for the family. But what if the family is doing something on the Saturday? Maybe the parents are taking the kids to football or swimming, or maybe they're having a day trip somewhere. Now there's only one day left to get everything done. And if they're doing something on Sunday as well, now they have even less time. This Sunday trading law can be very annoying for families, or really any individual who doesn't have a lot of time. For example, my local Tesco superstore, a large supermarket, is open 6 a.m. to midnight 6 days a week, so Monday through Saturday. But on Sundays, it's only open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Why can't I go shopping at 11 p.m. on a Sunday? That's really frustrating. I could shop late every other day of the week. Personally, I don't have much time nor energy during the week. And it feels like the weekend is the only time I can get stuff done. If I have plans on a Saturday, it suddenly feels like I have so little time to get my food shopping done. And because Tesco shuts at 4 on a Sunday, that means that 3 to 4 p.m. is really busy and just a bit unpleasant. If there were no limits on Sunday shopping, I bet the shopping experience would be a whole lot nicer. In addition, the rise of online shopping has created new customer beliefs. As we can buy things on Amazon for 24 hours a day, we've gotten used to being able to buy items at any time When shops on the high street are limited to fewer hours on Sundays, customers are just going to shop somewhere else. We all lead busy lives, and having supermarkets and other shops shut at 4 p.m. can be seen as inconvenient. And this could seem like it doesn't really fit with our modern ways of living. Allowing shops to remain open on Sundays could also benefit local businesses. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many businesses had to close or limit their hours, which caused financial problems. Many people believe that increasing opening times will help shops make more money and will result in more sales because customers have more time to shop. Indeed, during the pandemic, when shops reopened again, many were allowed to open until 10 p.m. Monday to Saturday. And this was to support businesses to both reopen and recover. In addition, longer trading hours could create new job opportunities. Shops being open for more hours would result in thousands of extra jobs. This would mean more money in people's pockets. And this, in turn, would also support the local economy. Especially in a cost of living crisis, I think having more money is never a bad thing. Speaking of money, having big supermarkets open for longer on a Sunday could also save us some. So in the UK, we have small shops called corner shops. These sell food and everyday items. And as they are small, they can open whenever they want on a Sunday. Typically, once your big superstore is closed, a corner shop is the only place where you can get food on a Sunday. However, corner shops typically have a more limited choice and higher prices than a superstore. Removing limits on a Sunday would allow customers to shop at large supermarkets for longer and be able to benefit from lower prices. And this would allow them to save money. Also, after 4 or 5 p.m. on a Sunday, high streets and town centres are often really quiet. If Sunday trading hours were less strict, maybe we could imagine a more lively high street on a Sunday. Maybe we could imagine a high street busy with activity. Longer trading hours could help create more community by bringing people together on a Sunday. Let's think about a Sunday afternoon where families can take their time shopping, explore various stores, and enjoy a calmer experience with no deadline of having to finish before 4 or 4:30. Shopping without a 4:30 deadline can improve the shopping experience for everyone involved. I think there's something nice about being able to take one's time. It's nice being able to walk slowly through a shop, maybe talk with the shop assistants, and enjoy the atmosphere, rather than hurrying to finish before closing time. Finally, let's consider the effects on tourism. Visitors often plan their trips around local attractions, and having longer shopping hours would give them more time to explore and buy souvenirs or local goods. This extra time could encourage tourists to spend more, which would help small businesses to make more money. In addition, it could help create a more lively city atmosphere, making the destination more attractive to future visitors. Now, while many people in the UK have strong opinions about extending Sunday trading hours, it is also important to understand the opposite point of view. Now that we've looked into why some people want longer Sunday trading hours, let's look at the arguments against them. Many people want to keep Sunday as an important day of rest. They believe that Sunday should remain a time for families to connect, reflect, and relax. They believe that a day of rest is beneficial for both mental health and family closeness. For many, Sundays have been a time to slow down, attend church, and enjoy quality time with loved ones. An increase in shopping could take away from these important things. This could mean that Sundays could turn into just another shopping day, rather than a special time for families to come together. Indeed, certain businesses in the UK believe Sundays should be for the family. For example, there's a toy shop in the UK called The Entertainer, and I definitely remember loving that shop as a kid. It was great. Interestingly, The Entertainer doesn't open on a Sunday, and it doesn't on a Sunday even in the busy weeks before Christmas. Its co-founder, Gary Grant, is a Christian, so he sees family life as very important. For this reason, and for the benefit of the staff, this shop isn't open on a Sunday. This means that its employees can spend quality time with their family and friends. His actions show his belief in keeping Sunday a day of rest for all members of staff. Another point against longer trading hours is the possible negative effects on workers. Many employees in retail, so people who work in shops, work really hard during the week. If hours on Sundays were extended, this could lead to increased stress and burnout. Working longer hours could have a negative effect on employees' mental health and could limit their ability to enjoy their own Sundays. Retail jobs can already be demanding, with long hours and challenging customers. Adding more hours could lead to employee unhappiness, which could, in turn, lower the quality of customer service. Happy employees typically lead to happy customers, and I think the opposite can probably be true. There are also worries about how small businesses would handle longer trading hours. Larger shops are more easily able to hire more staff and extend their hours. However, smaller shops may have difficulty competing if they have to stay open longer with both fewer employees and less money. As a result, shops that are chains could start to take over the high street. Small, local stores may have to close as they can't compete with big chain stores. Many towns and villages are shaped by their local businesses. If longer trading hours become typical, these communities could lose their character as shops become more profit-focused. Also, some people argue that the ease of shopping shouldn't come at the cost of community values. There's something special about taking a break from modern life and slowing down on Sundays. This traditional approach encourages people to focus on what really matters, be it spending time with family and friends or just preparing for the week ahead. To conclude this section, the discussion over extending Sunday trading hours raises important questions about what's important on a Sunday. While it might benefit businesses, many believe the benefits of a slower Sunday are more important than having extra shopping hours. Okay, now let's look at how these laws in the UK have changed over time. To understand Sunday trading hours in the way that they are today, it is important to see how these laws have evolved over time. This means how they've developed over time. As we mentioned previously, the Sunday Trading Act 1994, is what controls our Sunday trading. This law was an important turning point, allowing larger shops to open for 6 hours on Sundays, while allowing smaller shops to be able to set their own hours. However, this act didn't happen overnight. It came about from many years of discussions from different groups about the role of shopping and the meaning of rest. Before 1994, there were many attempts to change the laws around Sunday trading. This act was seen as an agreement which tried to respect both traditional values and the needs of customers. However, discussions about these laws haven't stopped since 1994. Over the last 10 years especially, there have been various discussions and plans for changes to Sunday trading. One important moment in recent history was the London 2012 Olympics. This event brought millions of people to the city. During the Olympics, Sunday trading hours were suspended. This means that shops were free to choose their own opening hours. This change helped to handle the large arrival of tourists who came to the city for the Games. This law was made to make the most of the Olympics and also to improve sales. Although this change was only temporary, it drew criticism from various groups such as the Church of England and a shop workers' union. And this suspension got people thinking again about whether the laws we have fit our modern ways of living. As we finish up this episode, it's clear that the discussion about Sunday trading hours is not a simple one. On one hand, we have people who want better shopping options, especially for families and busy individuals. These are the people who find Sundays to be one of the few days that they can do their shopping. On the other hand, many feel strongly about keeping Sundays as a day of rest and family time, and this view has lasted for generations. Balancing these different views is important for the well-being of our communities. As our lives change, so do our shopping habits. It's important to consider the needs of everyone, whether that's shoppers, business owners, and store staff. As we think about the future of Sunday trading, it is important to find a balance between tradition and modern life. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Langility. I hope today's discussion has made you think a bit more about Sunday shopping and the many opinions people have of it. If you found this episode helpful, I would encourage you to listen to it again. When you listen to it for the first time, there may be many words that you had difficulty with, and that's okay. With each listen, you'll be able to catch more words and your understanding will improve each time. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and YouTube Music. And, of course, you can find the transcript of this episode in the episode description. Until next time, take care and enjoy your Sundays, however you choose to spend them. Bye!